Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be going over level 65 Zane and everything you need to know about him. I am calling this the Swiss Army Knife Zane build. That's right, for those of you who have watched my channel before, Swiss Army Knife Zane is back. By the way, if you haven't watched my channel before, then go ahead and drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Borderlands 3 content. We cover all things in the game, lots of stuff to do with Zane and Flak and some of the other Vault Hunters too. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and also turn on the post notifications. One other thing I want to say is if you are watching this the day that I uploaded, later today we will be streaming the Gearbox packs, some sort of showcase they're doing. We're assuming some year 2 content is doing, and just so you guys know, there actually is going to be some huge announcements later. So come over to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/thickfillet_ at 3:45 p.m. Eastern. Pack starts at 3:45. I'll be streaming before then, but yeah, be there by 3:45. Also, I do want to say that we will be taking out the DLC for End Boss. A bunch of people are having trouble with this final boss right now. He's actually really easy to take out. It's a really nice old strategy. That's going to be at the end of the video. So if you want to know how to take out the DLC for boss on Zane, that's at the end of the video. Spoilers, obviously, but at the end of the video. So don't worry. We're going to go over the entire build. There's not going to be any spoilers if you don't want them, and I'm going to warn you ahead of time. Do not worry. Now, with that being said, let's go over level 65 Zane. There are some pretty awesome updates that Zane gets, and we're just going to go over everything. I'm going to break down Zane once again. I've done it a dozen times before, and let's get into it. So basically, the first thing we're going to go over is the skill tree, because when it comes to items and gear, not much has changed for Zane. It's still the same old good stuff that there used to be. However, I will go through my inventory and show you guys all the items I'm carrying. Now, what's really awesome about level 65 Zane and why this build is called Swiss Army Knife Zane is because we get to use the double barrel capstone, go over confident competence, and then seeing red. So we get to get all of the best skills and all of the damage out of Zane's skill trees. Now let's just go over these skill trees and talk about some of the choices I made. Now the first thing here you might notice is I only took 2 points into synchronicity, and that was because I literally had to spend 2 points to get down the tree. You don't need any points in synchronicity. All of our gun damage is coming from violent momentum. This skill right here, the max cap at full speed from violent momentum, in this build at least, is about 950% gun damage, and you get a lot more gun damage than you think. Just by moving around and shooting, you can get a couple 100% pretty easily. So synchronicity is just not really a big deal. You don't have to worry about the skill, especially because we have Donnybrook as well. The next thing we're going to talk about is you see that I skipped over Fractal Frags. This is because the clone has a grenade throw animation, and with the See and Dead class mod on, he can actually spam grenades sometimes. When the clone is throwing grenades, he's not shooting his guns, so we just skipped over this skill. And besides that, it is a pretty straightforward pick all the way down to double barrel. We even got 3 into Duct Tape mod and 3 into Prey Munitus, which is pretty cool. One other skill I kind of want to point out is Trick of the Light. If you're using the clone, I actually think this is a fine pick. Now, the reason why I didn't take this is because, like I said, this is Swiss Army Knife Zane. This is only going to be good with the clone, and I personally like to run Drone Barrier when doing the Malawan takedown, and I run it with this build. Another thing is I like to abuse the Transformer when I'm using the clone as well. So if I want to throw something shock at my feet or I want to shoot myself in the feet, Trick of the Light is just going to kill you because it's going to deal bonus damage as cryo, which the Transformer does not absorb. Finally, going into Green Tree, it's very, very simple. We have Ready for Action, we have Brain Freeze, and we have Confident Competence. Now, these are the best picks for this tree. I'm not going to really go deep into it. Ready for Action is really good with Topped Off. Adrenaline is not. Brain Freeze is the best freaking skill in this entire tree. And then Confident Competence gives us that accuracy and even more gun damage because, you know, why not? It's just a good skill. Finally, into Blue Tree. I made some interesting choices here. We're mainly going to talk about playing dirty. All of these skills are pretty obvious. 5 in Violent Momentum, 5 in Violent Speed, Drone Delivery, Death Follows Close. You only need 1 in Good Misfortune as long as you're wearing the See and Dead class mod. You only need 1 in Salvation because on Mayhem 10, your guns are going to fully heal you in 1 shot. And then obviously 1 in See and Red because it's such a good utility skill. Run around the maps quicker, do different skips that we've also showcased on my channel, or you can see on Garwood's channel. What we're really going to be talking about is our split between Cool Hand, Violent Violence, and Playing Dirty. When it comes to Playing Dirty, in my opinion, this is This is okay, so this is a skill that is obviously useful for mobbing, but this is mainly for bossing with our rocket launchers in my opinion. A lot of the weapons that people end up using while mobbing are like the light show, the monarch, the anarchy, multi-pellet weapons that don't really take advantage of playing dirty anyway. Now, of course, like if you're using a King's Call, like I like to and it is in my inventory, you're gonna take advantage of the skill anyway. But my point is you only need 3 to 4 points into this. I think 4 points is about the optimal number, but you can get a point from your class mod, so I only put 3 into here. The thing I want to talk about is the split between Violent Violence and Cool Hand. Both of these skills, I would love to have 5 out of 5, but we can only spend 26 points into the skill tree if we wanted to get the rest of our skills. So I just went ahead and split them, and with that being said, let's hop over to the inventory. Let's talk about the weapons that I use on Zane, and then I'm gonna go over the anointments that I use on Zane as well. So basically, in this build, any weapon that's good in the game is gonna be good on Zane. So I'm just gonna show you guys a bunch of weapons that I've used and I've tried. 3 new weapons from the DLC that I love are the Kong, the Critical, and the Lovable Rogue. Now, some of you might have tried the Rogue on other characters, and I think that the fire rate on this gun is what's really bad about it, but Zane has some of the highest fire rate in the game, so it makes it way easier to use the Rogue. The Critical is an insane pistol. You're going to be looking for the ×3, I think. I tried out a ×4, and it didn't hit as hard in my opinion. The Kong, you're really going to want with 300 over 90. Make sure you're fully charging this, especially if you're mobbing. This thing is a bit ammo hungry, but you can use it a couple times and it's really nice. Besides that, all of the guns that were good before are still good, like the Backburner for bossing, the Light Show, the Beacon. The Moonfire is actually pretty great. One weapon I really, really love is the King's Call. The Beast, also from the DLC. Eruption for some debuffing. One other weapon from the DLC I actually tried is the Convergence. Other weapons I don't even have on me, like the Monarch, the Plague Bearer. Other weapons like the Anarchy. I actually don't have an Anarchy in my inventory right now. You guys know what guns are good in the game. The Sandhawk, like all of this stuff is good. Like I said, anything that's good in the game is going to be good on Zane. So now quickly, let's go over the anointments. Your top anointments for Zane are non-gun damage anointments. So an anointment that is not gun damage is what you are looking for. Action Skill and Splash, Sentinel Cryo for mobbing, 300 over 90, Barrier Crit and Accuracy, and also next to magazine, Action Skill and next to mag bonus elements. Basically, what you're going to want to do is for bossing, you're going to want to use Action Skill and Anointments. Doppelbanger is how you're going to do it, which is this augment on the clone right here, Doppelbanger. You blow up your clone, and this activates your Action Skill and Anointments. Now, this can be very annoying while mobbing, so I really recommend just using Sentinel Cryo for mobbing. It's a really good bonus for Zane, and it's going to get you the best damage. But for bossing, it's really easy to just pop your clone once, and then you can kill the boss usually in one go, unless they have immunity phases. Then you have to do it, 1 or 2 more times. But you're really just going to want to stick to non-gun damage anointments. It's very important that you keep that in mind. It's the same reason why I didn't even put a lot of points into Synchronicity earlier. Zane has a ton of gun damage, especially with Violent Momentum, so just avoid it. Next, when it comes to the shield, you can use whatever shield you want. You guys always see me with a one-shotter shield on. I love amp shields in general because I love damage, even with fully auto weapons, even though it's not the best choice. But these shields also recharge very quickly, which I like a lot. Otherwise, when it comes to damage, you can use the Old God Shield. You can use the Stinger Shield. If your shield happens to get depleted, which it will, even if you're carrying your barrier, you're going to nuke everything in a small radius around you. The Plus Ultra is a pretty cool one. You can wear whatever you want. I really recommend using fast recharging shields. Now, one other shield I'm going to talk about real quick is the Transformer. I've showcased this on previous clone builds. Using the clone with shock, splash weapons, and the Transformer is very good for his survivability. And also, when my clone ever happens to go down, I love chucking a Shock Anarchy at my feet, filling up my shields, and then getting really good cooldown rate with topped off. This gives 200% cooldown rate. This is one of the reasons why Adrenaline's not that great, because of diminishing returns. It's kind of like the gun damage thing. You only need topped off to get some insane cooldown. This is 200%. When it comes to the grenade, you're pretty much going to want to use Piss for bossing. Otherwise, you're going to want to use the Recurring Hex Grenade. Now, the Recurring Hex Grenade So all forms of damage can actually trigger the See Undead class mod. The recurring Hex Grenade gives you a buttload of hits of damage. It dots up the enemies. You will get constant triggers of See Undead. This is another reason why we don't need so many points into playing dirty, because we can force activations. We can force like guaranteed bonus projectiles. When it comes to the class mod, it is very, very simple. Snowdrift for bossing, Icebreaker for mobbing. It is so, so simple. Keep that in mind. Basically, like, it's so great we got to get Brain Freeze with our blue and red trees, because now we can run the clone build that I used to, and you get to use the Icebreaker for mobbing. And the Icebreaker Vic Rush is pretty much the highest DPS artifact you can use on Zane. It outdamages the Pearl, everything. And when it comes to bossing, there's nothing like the Snowdrift. Like I said, the cap for Violent Momentum is about 950% gun damage. If you have your kill skills active, I believe you also might want Sentinel movement speed. You will get your max Violent Momentum bonus at the peak of your slide. So keep that in mind. Finally, when it comes to the class mod, you guys already know we are playing the See Undead class mod. It's just the best class mod for Zane. It is what it is. I have the perfect class mod here to show you guys what the best one looks like. And that is to completely ignore these top rolls. All the skills on this class mod are great. It doesn't even matter what these top rolls are. What you're looking for is bottom rolls to match your weapons. Crit damage, splash damage, weapon type damage. So this one is shotgun damage, but you can use pistol, SMG, assault rifle. You don't need all the god rolls. You're looking for at least one bonus, like weapon type is usually the best bonus to look for, to benefit your weapons. Generic crit and splash are also very, very nice, because there's lots of random splash weapons. Like all of these weapons equipped right now from the DLC, the crit, the Kong, the rogue, these are all splash damage. Even weapons like the King's Call, this is splash damage. The Beast gets some splash damage sometimes. There's like all the best weapons in the game are generally splash. The Sandhawk's a great example. And yeah, so you really want to use splash bonuses. Like you notice my Snowdrift and my Icebreaker both have AoE, which is basically just splash. And just try to get as many bonuses for the guns that you are holding. Alrighty guys, so with all that being said and done, let's go ahead and take on the DLC for boss. I've seen so many people asking how to do it. It's really freaking simple in my opinion. We are actually just gonna use the back burner. That's all it takes is a fire back burner. Just go farm up a fire back burner at level 65. So I'm gonna let my clone take out his first phase. And a lot of people are asking how to do this because the clone actually can't reach the second phase. So let's go ahead and just let the clone do his thing. I really recommend using debuffs. So another thing you might notice is that the clone cannot take out the second phase, but also the eruption won't reach the second phase either. So you guys can actually use the servos execute. And then we're just gonna go ahead and slide and shoot him. Look, we're gonna summon our clone again. We're gonna blow him up. We're gonna get our splash anointment active. And like I said, if you don't have the splash anointment, then just go ahead. I thought I fell off the map there. Just go ahead and use the servos execute. I'm kind of not paying attention, but yeah. And by the way, if you guys are on controller, I play controller too. I have put out multiple controller setting videos. I use slide on my bumper. You can also put it on your stick. It's really easy to aim and slide and shoot if you don't take your thumbs off the sticks. So whatever controller settings you're going for, put your slide somewhere where you don't have to take your thumbs off the sticks, and then you can aim and slide and shoot. So that is how you take out the final boss. It's pretty simple. Slide and shoot with a back burner. Same old trick as always, and you guys see we took him out real quick. So with that being said, that's gonna be the end of the video. Like I said, smash that freaking subscribe button. Help me out, hit the post notifications, like the video if you guys enjoyed this or learned anything. Later today, there are huge announcements at the Gearbox PAX Showcase, so I can't wait to see you guys there. I will be streaming it. It's coming on at 3:45 p.m. Eastern, and I will be streaming a little bit ahead of time. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.